Hey guys, Jamie here from Scareticulous. So, I'm going to review the movie Companion. I just got out of it, and I just felt like I should do it in my car. Why not? Just give my initial thoughts, my reaction to it. And this is going to be no spoilers. I'm going to try to give you as little spoilers as possible because I'm going to be honest, this is one of those movies where the less you know about it, the better. And unfortunately for me, I had this movie a little bit spoiled. And if you know the details about the movie, any information like beyond like the initial, setup or whatever is spoiling the movie because it's just one of those things where it's like you have to kind of go in blind to it and kind of experience it. And you can kind of tell in the movie that some of these things were meant to be revealed. They weren't obvious from the start. So the filmmakers intended for some of these plot details to be a surprise, like to kind of catch you off guard, like, oh, like that's what's happening. But obviously, here's the thing. And when I first saw the previews for this, it was very evocative. There was a lot of interesting imagery. You had Jack Quaid, and you had what's her name, Sophie. I forgot her last name. She's very good. Very good actors. The tertiary actors were good as well. The secondary ones, whatever. And everything was very well acted, very well directed. Everything's very shocking. It's what I would term a comedic thriller. You don't get these too often. These are very niche kinds of films where, it's not a horror movie exactly, and it's not exactly a comedy either, but it's got like a comedic edge to it, but it's definitely meant to be more of like a thriller type of movie where it's like it's shocking, it's, things are very quirky and interesting, and it's not so easily like kind of pigeonholed into one genre. I kind of put like Pulp Fiction in like a similar category where it's like it's a thriller, but it's got some comedic edge to it. There's some kind of like humor to what's happening in the movie. Either they crack jokes, or the situations are inherently kind of silly, but they kind of crank them up for a lot of gasps and like interesting reactions. So I might as well, going into that, the basic plot of this movie, the setup, is this couple goes to like a cabin in the woods, I guess to meet like friends, some kind of dinner party kind of event, and essentially they have like this kind of weekend getaway together. But things are strange. Like there's something that you can't quite tell is going on, and it slowly obviously gets revealed as you watch the film. From there, things kind of get out of control, and people just start dying. I'm not going to get into the specifics because if I do, it'll be spoiling something. And unfortunately, here's the thing. While I like that initial preview, the trailer that first came out of this film, unfortunately, for me and a lot of other people, I'm sure, whoever was promoting this movie, either the production studio or the studio that directed, I don't know, whoever is in charge of the Instagram for promoting this movie, they basically like step by step show you like a slideshow almost of like the sequence of events that happen in the movie. Not like the whole movie, but enough for you to like kind of get the basic gist of the plot of the movie, like specifics. And at that point it's like, oh god, you just revealed like the most important part that's supposed to be like a surprise. Like like that's half the reason I want to see the movie, because it was like, what is happening in this movie? It's like a weird, is it a romantic comedy but with like murder, and like is it kind of a horror movie? Like it was hard to figure out. But if you go through that slideshow, that promotional slideshow on Instagram, it basically spells out like what the plot is, like beat for beat. And it's like, well, thanks a lot. I wanted to see the movie to get that what was going on in this movie. But thanks to Instagram and whoever's, because here's the thing: when it comes to movies nowadays, everything has to be like spelled out for all audiences. Like everyone has to know exactly what they're getting into. Like, okay, this is a romantic comedy, and it's exactly like this is the plot of the movie, and you want to go see it, go see it. Pay here, give me there's $10, right? There's a horror movie, it takes place in space. Go give me $10. And they want to spell it out for everyone so that it's palatable for audiences, because what I'm guessing is the studio that was producing this film probably didn't know how to sell it. They didn't know how to market it, because it is kind of a quirky thriller kind of deal with romantic comedy elements to it. But again, you turn that on its side and you get this interesting kind of combination. But that is a hard sell. That is a hard sell for audiences. So they have to figure out a way to get people to understand what's going on, so that they know what they're getting into and they're not surprised at all. The audiences are so dumb nowadays, they need everything spelled out for them. So unfortunately, that's the world we find ourselves in. We're in a world of idiots. We're in a world of everything needs to be spelled out for you because you're a little baby, you're a child that can't walk or talk on your own. You need the production studios and all these companies to spell it out for you because you're a little dum-dum who can't figure it out on your own. Which is kind of interesting considering the subject matter of the movie. It's kind of ironic, but I'm not going to explain how, because I want you to see the fucking movie. Just watch the movie. I'm recommending it. It was very good. I feel like they've done movies like this before, like where they kind of took this similar concept and they did a good job with those, but it wasn't done to the level that this movie did it. I feel like they were kind of touching on like abusive relationships. A lot of this movie works as like an allegory. If you take it like totally seriously and totally like on its face, it kind of falls apart a little bit. And that's simply because the very concept of the film, it's kind of high concept. So it's something that, you're just going to have to buy. As soon as you watch the film, there are certain things you're going to have to buy into in the logic of this film. And if you don't, well, right, I don't know what to tell you. So honestly, though, I think it works very well at doing what it does. It ties in a lot of interesting concepts of like romance and like how people are disposable and how abusive relationships can dehumanize and degrade people and make people feel worthless. And there's lots of interesting concepts that are studied in allegorical form, because obviously if you take it literally, the film, it's kind of silly, because again, I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to spoil it for y'all, but just go watch the movie. The more I talk about it, the more I'm inevitably going to spoil something, so I don't want to do that. All I'll say is this came from the people who made Barbarian, and that was a very scary, kind of interesting film as well. Also with kind of some allegorical elements to it, where if you take it literally, like, it falls apart a little bit. So you have to kind of roll with the logic of the film and just kind of understand what they're trying to impart to you in terms of like the lesson of the film, of the messages they're trying to relay to you, the audience member. So if you do that, you'll have a great time. It's fun. It can be funny. It can be kind of scary, kind of shocking at times. There's some really pointed moments. I thought maybe this wouldn't be a movie that you would need to see in the theater, but I changed my mind. It's a good theater watching experience, especially if you have someone else with you. I think it definitely works. If you have like a partner, don't bring your kids to it. It's not a kid movie. It's not like there's no like nudity or anything like that. It's not like that dirty exactly. Like it's not that horrific. But it is, it's an adult film. You're walking into a movie with murder and stuff. So expect that kind of, subject matter. They deal with a lot of concepts of like autonomy, you know, self-worth, you know, identity, a lot of interesting stuff. So go watch the movie if you like thinking a little bit, and you like being entertained by some death and murder and stuff like that, and you like a little chuckle. If you don't take yourself too seriously, I think you'll have a good time with this movie. So go watch. Go watch Companion. And there's a very interesting reason why it's called Companion as well, which I thought was interesting. So go watch it. You probably won't regret it. I give this a 4 out of 5 stars. Why not? That's a great movie. Go watch it. Later, y'all.